So why have you stopped working? Oh, then again, cool, right. And that appears to be working now as well. Okay, so I think we're actually all set. So hello everyone. If you didn't catch that before, this is going to be Viscardus versus Rand in Miners Action. Let me just see if I can find the game. They may not have started it just yet. Let's find them via Coach Viscardus. That is not how you spell Viscardus. No, not yet. We'll wait and see. Just going to check if I am coming through loud and clear. Just going to check. Yeah, I am. That's coming through. And I'm going to jump into a Discord room in case anyone wants to join me for commentary on this one. So do feel free if you are thinking about it, if you are wanting to talk shit about either of these coaches or anything else. Yeah, should be a good one. I will try and locate Mr. Viscardus as we go, but we will see. It is possibly that I might miss them, I guess, but normally this works. Rand, of course, is known as Tickle Bump as a coach. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to this game. It should be a good watch. While we are hanging about, I will just very quickly take a look at the teams. So we go here. Just bear with the system a second. So I feel as though this is a game that Viscardus could certainly lose. Rand's a very good coach, gets very good results with those Orcs quite often. Predatory Pocket Monsters, of course, currently running at 1600 TV with 30k to burn before the game. They are a mean team. Feraligatr is still a concern with his lack of block, but you've got 2 blocks alright here, and then all the rest are pretty scary boys. 3 level 4 Saurus, 1 is a Blodgesaurus, 1 is Tackle and Guard, and 1 is another Blodgesaurus but with Guard instead of Mighty Blow. Charizard the Crocs, no block on him, so no doubles yet, but Guard and Stand Firm makes him a very difficult prospect and very good at tying up players with that prehensile tail. Skinks are lean and mean, which is what you want to see from a lizard coach, really. Not too many skills concentrated on here. Visc is undefeated for a reason, so we will perhaps see if he can continue that streak. Well, we will see if we can continue that streak. That's not really a perhaps, is it? Or whether the captain, the beer boy himself, the owner of a troll, Rand, running out of weird things to add to there, can stop him. So we have the Great Wall of Blork nearly there, just Budweiser needing those 3 SPP to get that guard on, and then you've got that full Great Wall in place. You've got PBR Tallboy, who is the quite fragile troll occasionally, with Guard and Stand Firm. So again, that Stand Firm on the line punching going on. Just tons of Guard coming out here. You've got Killer Piece being developed here. You've got another potential Killer Piece here. That is going to murder Skinks if it can get its hands on them. That obscene Agi 4 thrower Stat Freak. I hope it dies. No, yeah, I do. All Agi pieces should die until I get one, and I don't have one yet, so they should all die. We got some Dirty Player, we got some Wrestle. It's a pretty effective team for 1710 team value, and he's got some good results with them. Let's go back and jump back in and see if we can search for the game. Again, as I always say, if you are here in the chat, I would appreciate if you can let me know if you can hear everything all right. If there we go, we are in. So we'll just crack on. Good luck to both players. I'm surprised no one's watching, but maybe they are, and I just haven't seen it. Okay, so we are in. we are on. We are gripped. It is sorted. Sweltering heat. That's a good start, isn't it? Looks like this is going to be attacking first, unless I've come in very late. Oh, no. It is Orc Drive first. Very spicy. So let's flip round so that we are following on from the line of scrimmage. Following on from the line of attack. Alright, yeah. Nice shallow kick to the left. Not so great for the lizards there, I don't think, but we will see how this one pans out. Bringing them boys over to cover. Starts throwing some blocks. Okay, just some nice little spicy pals. Oh, big stun on the Croxagore, and the piling on goes in as well. That could get messy. Oh, and it's a KO on the Croc straight off the bat. That's a great start for Rand. And I don't know what we're going to see come out here. I think we're going to see another Black Orc hit, and then he may try and recover the ball. I don't know whether he'll recover it this turn using one of these guys, maybe Guinness, or he may just wait and bring Corona Extra in to pick it up. Oh, and another armor break. That's another stun. Orcs reaping a heavy toll on the lizards on the line here. Yeah, he runs forward to screen off. Very sensible. Troll decides to cooperate. Jogs forward. Double lining the front wall of the cage there. So yeah, this is where we see whether he's going to pick up or not this turn. Nope, doesn't look like it. Unless he's going to put on the wrestle piece, which seems unlikely. Yeah, there we go. Rolls the GFI, picks it up as if it ain't even a thing. I guess with skinks on the pitch, he doesn't want to risk one of them nipping in and stealing it, which is fair. Reforms the wall of Blork. Protects his downed Pommer. Old land shark there. Very, very, very close to leveling up to 4. And he'll be hoping for a double there, I think, so he can get jump up. So let's see how Visc responds. It wasn't a Croxagore, sorry, it was the Saurus that got down. The Croxagore standing right there. Charizard. It was... This is me being blind and just assuming the Croxagore was in the middle. It was Slibbly the star player. So that is what Visc induced. And said star player has accomplished absolutely nothing except keeping the rest of Visc's players on the pitch for this defensive drive. Gotta hurt, really. Check everything is working. It is excellent. As I said, any viewer would be appreciated if you could let me know that everything is working fine on your end. But I'm just going to proceed as though it is, and hope for the best until someone comes along to tell me otherwise. Bit of Saturday afternoon action. So contemptuously it just flings over Miller Light, who is, as you can see, the dirty player. Sacrificed offering to the gods there, perhaps. And Shock Top, and Hennessy Light on the side here. Not doing very much right now. Interesting that he went with the dirty player rather than the wrestle piece. I can see why. You know, you want to foul those Saurai if you get a chance. Croxagore goes piling on in. Well, not literally piling on, but bombing on in. So we may see hot troll on Croxagore action in the next turn. Visc perhaps hoping that he can force Rand to roll those bones and crap out on the troll roll. I think for Rand, having the kick go this far to the left was perhaps a slight disadvantage, but it's a very forward kick, which is always beneficial for Orcs, and gives him a couple of turns where he can switch the direction of play as well. Looking at the stuff here, you have a Crocs that is very nasty and mean standing right in the way, and a couple of Saurai. perhaps this middle line is a bit more vulnerable, but that would involve leaving some of these guys behind. But you still have all these blocks here, so I could see perhaps Rand trying to force through the middle rather than down the line left-hand side. But we will see. He may just feel aggressive. Yeah, we get one block run forward. Get a second one run round. Pulls the killer back. And I'd like to see this Black Orc Budweiser here move. Yeah, just to protect the killer here. That's sensible. Throws with the troll. Just gets a stand firm hit though. So I think you now put in the assist and throw the hit with the block. There we go. That is a down Crocs. No foul, unfortunately, for said Blorky to have precipitated with Miller Lite, the old dirty player there. Here comes the blitz. Just a push. But that puts him in on the skink, if he wants to be, which he does not. Oh, he does. Steps in. And we may see the guard piece move up in support. Brings the attack piece around to cover as well. Runs the throw back. Yeah, I think that's sensible. Blocking off the approach from the back here. Crocs gets up, no bonehead. Always good. I could see Meganium being the source to do the blitzing here, but then that is going to be a tricky one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to get onto there. Oh no, blitzing the tackle player just shoves him off of the skink to the side so we can get some more hits in on him. So we'll probably see, yeah. And there we go, that's the down. KO to Guinness. He risked it for a biscuit getting onto that skink, and unfortunately he did not get the result that he wanted. He Brand loses a blitzer, so that's a blitzer and a star player off the field already. I can imagine this is going to be a fairly tactical game, knowing how Visc and Brand both play. Old tickle bump. Do excuse me for drinking on the job. It is just orange Fanta though. I have just got in, having come back from London today, on a smelly tube. Got in about 5-10 minutes before I went live. Alright. I think for options here, Visc kind of is limited in what he can do, short of putting pressure on players. And there's the risk here of committing the Saurus too far forward too quickly, and then being outmaneuvered by the fact that Saurus just can't dodge. AG1 is not so good for the old dodging, but he's forming a column up here and he's daring Rand to come towards him, which is pretty much what he has to do in this situation. I think that Crocs needs removing to free these players up. So we may see Rand attempt to do that with the Black Orc. Then possibly attempt to move the Troll. Reforms the Wall of Orcs. Yeah, there's a fairly effective defensive line here. There's no obvious way through. Okay, here we go. Gets the hit. Doesn't follow. Not risking the piling on that time. But we may see a second punch going here from the Black Orc onto Dragonite. Yep. That's Keith Stone, always smooth. And another big stun. Just a shove with the Troll. Very brave running those Troll hits first. I suppose he wants that Black Orc freed up. But that is the down. You may see the foul going now. Yeah, and that's the foul. Doesn't get anything for it, but doesn't get punished either. So while the Crocs is down, that means the Crocs can't really affect the play at the moment. You'll probably see Rand, consolidate into the middle here. Needs to be wary of those skinks and their stunty abilities, though. Yep, sticks the Blitzer on the skink. Very brave, just ploughing forward. Going to try and pummel his way through this area of the Lizardman line. We could see these guys loop around the back and try and pressure. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you could get a skink in there for an assist. With the strength disparity, the strength reduction from here is not going to negate that assist enough. Rand obviously taking the risk here that Visk is going to play this cautiously and not commit to a risky ball sack in that respect. Pushes off Yanganen. I see the risky Saurus here without block for Relegator, merely acting as a roadblock. I don't think this will throw a block with him this turn. I'd like to see Tyranitar stand up. Maybe thinking to blitz with him. Only problem is you've got guard here now. That said, that's a pretty good blitz there. Just try and peel off some of that Orc support. We know how cautious a player Viscardus can be. He's a very defensively minded coach. Very good at it, as you can see from his results. Suffering only the 1 draw and no losses so far this season. Yeah, I think we're probably going to see a blitz come in from here. I would probably move Blastoise, but he may be thinking if he does that, that's going to give overspill. At the moment, he's not doing anything, and he's got a powerful piece. Alright, here we go. I think we are going to see the ball hit. Yep, here we go. And he gets it. Drops the thrower. No armor break, though. Ball scatters out behind the troll. Eminently recoverable position. There's a chance that Rand could try and gank the skink this turn, but we will see this coming turn. Need a punch here. Then probably an assist from this block. Just shoves him back into the middle of the pile. Some interesting prospects for push play here. But again, you're using a risky block there with Feraligatr. I'm not so sure that this would try and scatter that again anyway. Oh, actually you can push play because there's a square there. Duh. Alright, yep. Moves in the unoccupied Saurus Blastoise into a supporting position for the Crocs. I'll try and grind forward onto the ball from here, I think. We'll see how Rat deals with losing said ball. Yeah, lack of block on that Saurus coming into effect. Blitzes the Skink. Skink dodges away, but is otherwise locked up. I might have followed that if I was him, but I can see why he didn't. Oh, troll really stupids. We're expecting that at some point. That's unfortunate. That means no hit on the Crocs this turn, I don't think. That's going to be a 1 dice. Oh, it's not because of guard. May try and go for recovery and pull the thrower back into here. Picks the ball up. Yep, there we go. Problem is you've got these skinks standing up in a minute. Gets the 1 die. With tackle. Doesn't get the 1 die there. But shoves him off. And that's just a bounce off of each other. I mean, there's a temptation to throw the red dice here to attempt to knock down the crocs, but you're probably better off waiting for the troll. There's no dodging going to take place because of tackle being here as well. It's looking alright. It's looking alright. There's concern here because you've got all the Saurus standing here and just Bud Light to stop them. Dratini can move in for either recovery or to support. You've got a hit here on Landshark, which could be a bit spicy. We will see. Obviously, these Saurus have to get rid of Bud Light and Budweiser really to get in, although realistically speaking, you can knock Bud Light back and then move this Saurus into here to threaten the ball. That would be Dragonite, while Feraligatr just stands up. Goes for the skink hit. Just push. Not ideal. Basically closes off that channel. It's worth a try though. Might have been worth a reroll. I think we might see a hit on Keystone. Blitz goes in, gets the hit. Yeah, follows up. Precludes a sacking attempt on the ball this turn, unfortunately, but it is possible for him to put Dratini on if he wants to risk Dratini. Gets the hit on Landshark. Shoves him back as well, squeezing that net tighter, that lizardy net. Just the one viewer apparently, which is probably me. It is, of course, Saturday afternoon, my time, and Saturday daytime for both players here, so I can understand it being a difficult time for people to be tuning in. I am seeing dire straits a little for round here, although that is just a dodge off with that Agi 4 thrower. Oh, and we throw a skull. There we go, a little bit of respite for him for now. Now, realistically, he kind of wants to take this troll hit so that he can free up these guys. If he can do that, then he has the possibility to move these guys back into support rather than having them held up. And the troll really stupids again, because of course he does. That's very unfortunate. Yep, figured we'd see the hit there. Opens up space for the thrower to dodge out into. Not dodging off a tackle. I think he probably got a stand-up Bud Light or blitz with Bud Light onto our friend Feraligatr here. And then bring in Bud as support. Oh, and he skulls it. And he double skulls it. That's very unfortunate. Not what you want to see. So we have basically a free hit here on poor Corona Extra. Could see this ball get sacked again. It's looking less likely that Rand is going to score now. We've got these 3 support players here as well. You can see an attempt at clearing Keithstone off. There we go, gets the power straight away. We got Trattini just sitting there waiting for that ball to come to him. And that's a stun as well. Not the best scatter for Visc. If it had gone to either of these squares, it would have been better. But Stunty can do its magic, so he could just nip in, nip back out again. It is a bit of a difficult pickup though. Ah, scatters the ball again. Unfortunate direction of travel, but that's possibly better. I still wouldn't fancy it too much. You're probably going to have to take the Croc's hit on the troll here. There's a push to Keithstone, who is battered back into contact with the Croc score. I'm not sure that that was particularly advantageous, but I can understand why it happened. Visc may need to commit to stealing this ball. Still just the 2 removals as KOs. Yep. Oh, fails the pickup. Gonna re-roll that. And fails it again. Bounces it to the troll, bounces it back to himself, and then straight forwards. It's not a good place for it to be for Rand, but it could be a lot worse. Now I think you may see Landshark take the hit on Feraligatr here. At some point, because that seems like it. Oh no, we get the hit. Yep. Frees up Landshark. We can then take out Dragonite. Although realistically speaking, we probably want Bud Light hitting that skink. There we go, gets the down on the Saurus. Puts him away from the plate, yeah. Takes the dodge out. And there we go, that is a down skink. No damage to it though, surprisingly. Troll hit, goes in, and it's just a shove off, but that is, for all intents and purposes, probably what he wanted to do. Ooh, there we go. Stand firm hit. Stand firm, bounces off. And another stand firm. That Crocs ain't going anywhere. So that ball is free, but it is covered by the troll still. So that troll has to go down for that to go down, and that troll is standing in part of that fractured wall of Blork. Surrounded by guard, in fact. We've got guard here, we've got guard here. We see the hit go in on Younging. Don't know if that's actually pronounced right. It's not a cheap beer we have in this country. I have heard Rand say it several times, but I've not paid enough attention to actually say what the pronunciation is. So I think Visc's job here is to clear away as many of these players as he can and then try and pick up with the skink again. It's going to be a bit hairy, but you can get in on Bud Light here with Venusaur. 1, 2, 3, and 4. But that throw is getting up next turn, so you probably need to do it soon. Use forward for the assist. There we go. We are going to see a... Oh, no, we're not going to see a hit come in. Interesting. Just dancing that Blackrock round the Croxagore. Debating whether to follow or not. And he does. Surely the blitz is coming from Venusaur. Yep. Straight in on the troll. Drops the troll. Troll does not get injured. Steps in to cover the ball. Crocs hit onto Miller Lite perhaps, or perhaps one of the blocks. Miller Lite is the less risky proposition, but probably the least useful hit out of the lot. Old Dratini gets up. There we go, goes for the recovery, and recovers it just as is. Now the unfortunate point though here is that the lack of the hit on Bud Light means that dodging through here means dodging through tackle, even with Stunty. That's a pretty risky proposition. This can score in 2 turns with these skinks, but it's going to be a little tight. So we may just see him consolidate his position for now. Now of course we have Land Shark free, so that may be where we see the hit come in from this coming turn. There we go, skips him back out. So he can get to him, but he can't actually get the hit on him. Now really Rand needs PBR Tallboy to work his magic and stand up. He doesn't stand up, that makes it exceedingly unlikely that he'll be able to recover the ball. Okay, he skips him back one more. You've got to throw up Corona Extra here. Yeah, there we go. Stands up. Finally gets the hit. Stuns the Crocs. Now do you blitz through here with Keith Stone? And then run around the outside? He does not. He just takes him down. Steps in on the skink. Oh, cheeky little one die there on Tyranitar. That opens the channel for the hit with the reroll onto Charmander, which is what we see happen. And he gets the POW. That is a down skink and a loose ball. Is that me or is that elsewhere? Seem to be having... Oh, there we go. And he piles on as well, just to make sure that skink stays down. That is a stun on the skink. That's unfortunate. That's a KO'd skink though. Much better result. And a foul on the Crocs. Doesn't produce anything, but is always fun. Does he throw the one die here, I wonder? Yes, he does. And he gets the POW as well. That's a lot of lizards gone down that turn. Unfortunately though, Rand doesn't have anything in position to score, so this is really just going to be a case of trying to do as much damage to Viscardus' team as possible. I'm pretty sure that Visc can now no longer score either, so it's going to be a 0-0 half. Failing, of course, Meganium just making a run for the end zone, and then an incredibly unlikely pass to a Saurus. I have seen stranger things happen though, so you never know. I don't actually think anyone is watching this. Oh no, maybe we do have a viewer. That's nice. Welcome whoever you are. Do feel free to say things in the chat. If you are Randall Viscardus, however, bugger off. Viscardus having a good old think here. Hello, Q. Nice to see you, mate. As you can see, there are a lot of downed lizards. This was Rand's offensive drive. Unfortunately, it seems that Rand will not be scoring. He couldn't quite get the ball loose of the scrum, and then has been working for removals really in the last turn or so. Apart from, of course, dropping the skink who picked up the ball, which unfortunately resulted in only a stun. And so it's probably going to be a 0-0 half going into the Lizards' offensive drive. Viscardus has to feel pretty happy about that. Now, I'm wondering what is going to be Visc's target here. Unfortunately, you can't really get a decent foul on Landshark. But you never know. Yeah, scoots him in on Landshark. May try for the foul anyway with Totodile, as he does have a skink in reserve. Larvitar, who is unlevelled. Just the KO on both sides. Oh, and a second KO on the skink, of course. Visk took a star player. Unfortunately, that star player got knocked out on the first turn, so has done precisely nothing. There we go. There is a possibility to recover here. Yep, fails the pickup. Fails it again. And then catches it with the bounce back. Yeah, unfortunately there is no scoring threat here, so Visk is not going to be scoring. This is really just a case of lots of punches going in places where they might do some damage. Gets it again. That is another stun and another piling on going in. Totodile survives, however, and we watch the ball bounce off of some downed skinks and go precisely nowhere. We may see another foul on the Croxigal here. Yeah, looks like that's what we're going to see. Hefty assists on that. You might see a blitz on... we've already seen the blitz, sorry. I would expect you're going to see Keystone stand up. Nope. Okay. Super interesting. Yep, easy target for Alligator without the block. Gets the push. Oh yeah, for sure. Deny TV is very good for Visk. Visk got to be feeling pretty happy about that. But I think we're going to see a foul on the Croxigal now. Rand hoping that third time's a charm. Yep. Nope, and no send off. And a skull just to end with, which he re-rolls just into a bounce off of each other. Yeah, Visca's got to be feeling pretty pleased about this one. Both coaches have played well. There's been a couple of little errors. Rand gave the Lizards too easy a hit. Oh, double skulls to open with. Just a push this time, though. My concern is that Visk may just decide that it's worth popping off a foul here because he's unsupported, and you never know. Losing. The only problem is it would be with Charmander, who is his blodge sidestep skink and is his most likely scorer, or the one that will be the easiest thing to score with at least. He may consider it a viable trade, though. Landshark is a fairly scary player and will be much scarier after his next level, depending on what he gets. I would expect we're either going to see Tackle come out on there, or if Rand can get lucky enough to roll a double, we may see Crump Teeth Mark II and Landshark will get jump up. It's been a pretty cagey game though, neither of them proceeding much further than the halfway line in that half. Alright, so I would expect a blitz hit to go in, probably off of Venusaur. Maybe onto Corona Extra if I can. Yeah. Gets the hit. Corona Extra stays alive though. Low removals this game so far. Crocs gets up. And we may well see another hit, yeah. Just a push though. Wasn't even worth taking the push really. I think that's about it. Maybe a one die here, just to end out the half. Yeah. And push. Goes for the source pickup just to end with. Alright, end of the first half. That was quick, that was punchy, but not much damage done to either team. So let's see who gets up. Oh, both lizards. Start playing most of the reserves. And Rand gets his blitzer back. Oh yeah, high value pieces are very stressful. And there are a few of those floating around on the pitch at the moment. Okay, so Rand in defence, so we're going to switch to focus on Visc. I think we're going to see that star player come in off of reserves. Slibbly with his block, grab, stand firm and guard. Makes for a hell of a line piece. Interesting formation from Rand here. Sitting back deep. Those are the lizards have to base up in order to do what they can. Oh, okay, he's switching back to standard line rule of 5. That makes sense. I did wonder what his strategy was there. That's a much more sensible one. Day players off the field, replaced with Hennessy Light, the wrestle player. Pulling those skinks all the way back, making sure you can get the pick up with them. It's quite a spread out setup for Visc so far. We'll see if he kind of tightens up a bit. He does. He goes 4 on the line, 3 on the line, 2 on the left hand side. Nope, back again. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I can see what he's doing here. Going for the narrow formation, going to try and punch down that line of scrimmage, and then just roll forward lizard style. Yeah, here comes the Wall of Sorai. Let's see how this kick goes. Alright. See how much better it would have been Cyanide if you'd made the lizard skins change colour, so that you could have different coloured lizards and lizard mirror matches weren't horrendous. That would have been good, but alas, no. Wasn't to be. Okay, kick goes in. Cheering fans. Good deep kick by the Orcs there. Couple of squares from the outside of the pitch. Really, Rand can afford to sit back and let Visc come at him, which is probably what I would do in his shoes. I'm a fairly defensive coach though, especially on defensive drives. Visc committing the players forward to the line to get the hits in, and here they come. Shoves the wrestle player to the side. sure he's hoping. Yeah, okay. Misses grab. Do you just pass him down the line a bit further? Or do you pull him back? Yeah. Passes him down the line a bit further. Not getting the greatest of dice here, is he? That is a very tough lineman, apparently. He's weathered getting tanked by multiple lizards so far. It's 4 hits. Even the 5th one doesn't take him down. Visc opting instead to push rather than take the wrestle both down. Which Rand would probably have just selected not to use wrestle on, in fact, because that would have ended Visc's turn. Now, if you're Rand, you've got to be very happy about that. That was 5 blocks to not remove a single lineman, to just push the lineman back from the line. That one, of course, succeeded straight away. And we have Hot Crocs on Troll action again. Troll goes down and is stunned. I think we just pick the ball up here, really. Unless you're going to throw in a blitz onto Budweiser, perhaps. You can get an assist in with a skink. And then a blitz in with Dragonite. But I think he's probably going to go for the ball instead. Yeah. Picks it up first time this time. Hoofs it back up the pitch. You can't really say hoofs it with the Orcs though, can you? Okay, putting the skinks in further forward. I don't think we're going to see a blitz this turn. Oh, then again, I spoke too soon. We are just seeing a straight 1-die blitz. And it's just a bouncy bouncy. Now, I'm not sure that was a particularly wise move, but we will see how it pans out. Here come the blocks. Keystone running into the wide area there to block off the channel, while Natty Bow moves to a slightly further back position with Hennessy Light as the wrestle skirmish front for that column. So we may see Rand column up here. I'd like to see an assist come in so we can get the hit on Dragonite at least. Yep. Does indeed get the hit. Shoves the Saurus back into the middle of the formation. Could actually tag up the skink there, but it seems a bit pointless. I mean, there's no real obvious blitzing target here. Can also tag the skink up here, but anyone who does that is probably going to get ganked by Saurai. Visc's done a pretty good job of screening them off. I think you probably commit another piece to the column here, otherwise Keystone is probably getting blitzed off the field. Aha! Blitz going in on Venusaur then. Let's get the 1-die. Shoves them off. You have then Guinness as a safety. Yeah, liking it. Liking it. Pretty good defensive formation at the moment. Guinness drops in as a safety. And the tall boy rolls over. So a couple of options for Visk here. Really, he's going to have to pick a side, I think. I mean, he could try and go down the middle, but that's just going to close these Orcs in on him like a trap. He has the pieces to brute force his way through the side. I'd probably go for the collapsed right side over here, the sunken in a bit. That does mean that he's going to have to commit pieces to stop Landshark and co from coming in from his left, Rand's right. And he does have to be mindful that Troll is likely to get up unless he can clear players off of him, which is not really possible at the moment. I say not really possible at the moment, it's entirely possible. All he has to do is take the Crocs hit on Youngling, knock Youngling back to here. That isolates the Troll. Means that Rand will probably have to use Hennessy Light to step in and give the assist to get the Troll back up again without having to roll a 4+. Alright, so I think we may see a blitz come in on Budweiser, but that wall of Blork here doing his work, guard in on that Black Orc. Okay. Yeah. Runs him in to close off the channel. So I think we are seeing this commit to this side. I'm expecting to see the blitz come in here. That's 8, so that would be a GFI with Loner. To hit from that side. So he may just opt to hit from here. I would prefer to see it come in from there though. Runs the kick out to the sideline. So we've got the ball carrier set here. Fraligo runs in to provide an assist to Charizard. Hoping to keep that Troll on the deck for at least another turn. Okay, Blitz comes in. Yeah, in the direction I was expecting it to come from. Gets the hit. Pushes the Blork away from the column into the Crocs. That is a guard Blork though. And takes the GFI to base up Corona Extra the thrower. Slowly runs forward to provide a little bit more frontage to this kind of loose cage type screen thing as the Crocs hit in. That is a Troll that could conceivably stand up this turn though. I think Rand probably has to pull all these players back. Oh, really stupid's the Troll, unfortunately. Troll's not having a great day of it. So we've got 3 pieces here that are going to have to come back across here. Unfortunately, one of them's a Blork, so he's going to be out of the play, really. Stand firm on the Crocs, of course. Players come back to cover. I think he's probably going to have to dodge the thrower off. Perils of Orcs, they are slow. we see a blitz on the Crocs? We do. Oh, no, we see a blitz on the Saurus. Drops for Alligator because of that lack of block. Moves in to provide an assist on the Crocs, who gets viciously dropped, but stays where he's at. And just a shove, using the thrower, who moves in. Brave boy there. Hoping that AV8 will save him from the tender ministrations of... oh, and we get a boneheaded Crocs. So both big guys are out for the count at the moment. Now, this can certainly reform some sort of side cage in this area up front here. So you've got all this space to run into. I think realistically speaking, you're going to use Meganium, you're going to use Tyranitar, you're going to use Venusaur and try and side cage. So we may see Venusaur move to here, Meganium to here, Tyranitar to here, bring the Skink in, and then possibly try and stall it out. He may just go for a quick score, and then trust in his ability to stop Ram from scoring back. Bouncy, bouncy. Risk taking some time to think. Here we go. Yeah, I think we're going to see that side cage form up now. Alright. There we go, gets the hit this time. Moves in on the follow-up. It's looking like it's going to be tough for Ran to stop this, but we will see. He does have pieces in play, so he could, in theory, blitz out Meganium and then run at one of the other guys in to close that channel off. He does probably need a safety though. Probably Bud Light because of tackle. Okay, blitz comes in. That's probably going to tie up Land Shark as well. No, doesn't follow it. Okay. Definitely think he's going to try and stall this one out for a couple more turns at least. Try and negate Ran's ability to score back. Runs in for an assist. Yep, that's about where I expected to see that Skink end up. Builds up the front of it as well. And gets the POW on the block. Not all that many armor breaks so far this game. Maybe we'll see one here, but AV9 doing its work for both sides. KOs didn't stick, so both playing with a full deck as well. Oh, here we go. There we go. There is the KO. I knew as soon as I said that that was likely going to happen. So that is a KO'd block. Fortunately for Rand, it's the one without guard, so it's the least useful of the four. Not that any of them really are not useful. That boneheaded Crocs means that he can move all these players out and round though. PBR Tallboy does get up. There we go, squishes in. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So too far to get to him from there. Unless he cuts the corner, so that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that puts tackle on the ball. I'm not sure if that's a worthwhile move though, because there is a Saurus who can immediately blitz him off. Not even to mention the fact that there is an assist from here. There's another Saurus here, and another Saurus here. Really need to whip these guys around the top though to cover, but at the same point that leaves this area exposed. So he's going to have to make some decisions here. Yeah, okay, covers the front. That provides a couple of easy blitzing targets though, so we may have to see a blitz go in from here somewhere. Yeah, another covering in the front. Blitz in from Natty Bow. Gets the hit. Drops a Saurus and puts a player on the ball. Do we see a dodge off with the youngling here? Be brave piece of play. We do. We do see the dodge off with the youngling. I think that was a very wise move. It means that the tall boy has to be dealt with in order for these guys to factor into it. Unfortunately, that's going to be a hit without block onto PBR tall boy. Rand doing about all he could do to cover this one. And there we go, gets the hit on the Black Orc, immediately clears it off the ball. Unfortunately that's the blitz spent, so that means that you can't really just go charging down the middle of the pitch here, because of the tackle zones here. But he's still got plenty of turns to get through there. Oh, another arm break. And that's another KO on Guinness. Rand accepts it, as I figured he would. I think you have to feel though that we're going to see Natty Bow stand up next turn, and then we're going to see a blitz come in from Budlight onto Charmander, which will put tackle on the ball. You can even see Landshark come in support. Tied up here. It's the only free Saurus at the moment. Yeah, gets the hit. Oh, and another armor break. Bad turn for Rand with the AV9 there. I mean, that's an 11 on that one. 11 on the previous one. Another hit. Shoves the throw out sideways. This could, in theory, dodge out this way. That leaves really just Landshark capable of covering. And you do have a Saurus who can, I think, get up into there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that would mean a dodge out. Bad place for him to be with Charizard there, because that means dodging Insart's tail, even with the Agi up. That's going to be a tough prospect. Yeah, Cage is up at the front there. Or at least walls up the front there, shores up those defences. It's going to make that a tough nut to crack. Oh, fails to dodge. I think you just accept that one, don't you? Yeah. Save your rerolls. 4 rerolls each for 4 turns. Now there is a hit on ball here. Stand up Corona Extra. Unfortunately the guard negates this really. You throw the dice here. If you get the knockdown there, then you're 1, 2, 3, 4 hit. Yeah, gets the POW. Follows it in. And you've got to take this. And he gets it. That is the ball scattered loose into the middle of the Sauri. Not an ideal scatter, but not the worst. Could have just scattered straight to the other skink, who is a much tougher prospect for getting the ball off of with that blodge step. Saurus didn't stay down, unfortunately, but still not bad, not bad. Now do you try and squeeze? Rand has a lack of bodies on that ball to stop it from getting dealt with, but we can understand why. So he closes the jaws of the trap a little bit more, just gets a push this time though. Just closing off those channels slowly. Oh, fails to dodge. Rerolls it, might as well. Fails it a second time. That's unfortunate. So we're going to see a bit of a scrum around the ball here now, I think. But you do have all these Sauruses essentially tied up. And then we're going to see Dragonite get straight up again. He may even blitz, because that's a 2-die, I think. I can never remember off the top of my head without looking at the dice, actually doing the rolling. But that's a pretty good hit there. Maybe put a hit here as well, to give the most possibility for a skink recovery here. Cutters here, runs out down there, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. GFI, GFI. That's probably the game. What do you do here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Oh. And that's an injury to Natty Bow. That's really unfortunate. That is a strength bust as well. Got to Apo that one, really. And it's a no-cas. Some luck there with the Apo dice. Saves Natty Bow to fight. And Great Wall another day. Yeah, so I definitely think we're going to be seeing a hit somewhere along here. Get to see Blitz come in from here. And then the attempted recovery with the skink. I think if Visc scores, that's probably game. Blitz comes in and gets the hit. So now Visc just has to pray that those recovery dice are in his favour. Could try and recover with Dratini, who is the unlevelled skink. Shoves that walk off. Pulls the Black Orc away. He's having a good old think about it. Oh, fails to pick up. Instant reroll there. Fails it a second time. Oof. Scatters out to where the Black Orc is. So this does give Rand a chance of recovery. Now he's got 4 turns, so he could in theory score from this. if he's very lucky. He's got 3 players here. It's going to be a very tough recovery, but he does have an Agi-4 thrower. Now, I think what you really want to do is try and scatter that ball again. But there is a possibility that that could go drastically wrong. Takes a hit on the star player, who goes down. Now do you run in Landshark and try and scatter that ball again? I think you do, yeah. Oh, and that is a spicy scatter, because that gives him the opportunity to recover that ball. And then all he has to do is take the dodge out and make a run for it. Means Visk essentially has to hit PBR Tallboy now. There we go. Now there is a skink here, can provide an assist. You've got to see the Crocs hit down PBR Tallboy here, I think. That said, we do have Meganium here, so you could see the hit here and then Meganium come down to take the hit on Corona Extra. Oh, and he punts it. That is a very good piece of play. Love it. This could well go to a draw. That's going to be tough to recover. It's going to be easier for Rand to recover it with Corona Extra. I mean, there's a couple of skinks here who can get there, maybe, but they're going to have to take some long ways round to do it and cut some corners. You're probably going to have to see Keith Stone and Cause Banquet go down to guarantee that those skinks can get through to it. That was an extremely good bit of play by Rand there with that punt. I think he probably would have liked to have punted it a bit further down, but as punts go, it's a pretty good one, and it's eminently recoverable by his own thrower, as long as that thrower can survive to the next turn. High level play there by Rand. Okay, yeah, he's going to hit the throw down. Lovely bit of push play there, frees up the Saurus. That is a hit on Corona Extra with Mighty Blow now. Excellent high level thinking there from Visk as well. And he gets a hit. I think he's probably got to phalanx that that poor bugger, maybe with Dragonite to make it much more difficult to dodge out. Because if he doesn't, there is a possibility that Rand, while he probably isn't going to dodge this way, there is a possibility that Rand can clear off the lines here, take out Venusaur, and then run down here. So Meganium is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Having a good old think. Here comes El Skinko. Provides the assist. Just a push though. And just commits Meganium forward. Gets the Crocs hit on PBR Tallboy, who goes down. So that means that Feraligatr is now free. In theory, Feraligatr could try and recover that ball. In practice, that seems like an unlikely thing to do, and an unlikely thing to have happen, but it can at least cover it. Yeah, instead he just shores up the defences there. Ooh, stunties it out. And does he go for the one more? And he fails it. Reroll. No reroll for the pickup, but doesn't need it. So it's not over yet. Yeah, troll really stupid, as they want to do when not surrounded by friendos. Oh, that was some brave play. Like it. It's a stun on the star player. I think we're looking at how these can be extricated, and it's not looking that great. Because that Crocs is in the way for a start. Okay, yeah. That was a little unfortunate. Top half of the field, that's Rand's side of the pitch. We're following the run of play, so we're following Viscardus' drive. This is the Lizard's end zone. So the Skink is playing defence. Rand punted the ball downfield, Murty. So that Skink has to get up to the top of the field here to score. At the moment, Rand's looking like he's just going to consolidate his defence and play for the draw. Oh, and fails to dodge out. Might as well take the reroll though. Gets it this time. Takes the GFI. Takes the GFI. And he's in. And he tried to dodge a Black Orc. Worth a try. Stranger things have happened. So we're probably going to see a blitz thrower again, but still putting some pressure on Visk and stopping him from making easy forward movement. They both played this very well. Crocs goes jogging in on the Black Orc. But Visk is definitely going to have to motor upfield in order to score here. Just push. But that's enough for the purposes of getting that ball upfield. He may need to try a Skink handoff. Nothing quite in range though. So you might as well just run him up. Because you're looking at what here, and then he can score on the next turn. Yeah. There we go. That is a score on the next turn. With 2 GFIs. Yeah, it has to cover that. Now, unless Ran can pull something off here, we're probably going to see Bud Light get tied up. That is a big injury on Youngling. No Apo in play. That is a niggle to a Blitzer. That is unfortunate. That Blitzer may get shredded. I think we're going to see Tyranitar move up to cover Bud Light, prevent him from intervening on the next turn without making a dodge. But realistically, Rand has to get a hit on here, so we may well see a hit here. See Crocs. Crocs is the problem. Could see a blitz here. Nah. Yeah, there we go. Goes into cover. Probably academic at this point. I think this is definitely Visc's game to lose. Rand was a little unfortunate the punt wasn't a bit further. And that's a dropped Black Orc as well, just for good measure. This could come down to the effects of 2 rerolls. Really stupid on the troll, as we would expect. Joel's on back. That could be a very brave play. Gets the assist for the 1 dice. Oh, blitz goes in. Oh, oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. He got him. That's it. It's a draw. That was brave. That has to be a draw now. Yeah, definitely a draw. With that scatter, that is a draw game. Just for good measure, fails the block at the top here. Now, unless we see some sort of insane passing play on the part of the Lizards here, so you see run down here, run back up here, pass to here, and then a run in to score. That's probably a drawn game. I think that's the only thing that Vis can do at this point, and he should probably not bother doing anything else, except maybe taking the hit here to stop any potential interception. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pass up here. After that very brave blitz, I think it would be a bit of a shame actually if Visk just pulled that one off. But if he can accomplish it, I'll be mighty impressed in him. So no shame on Rand there. He did what he could. Takes the hit. Takes the hit up here. That clears the way completely. And just a stun for good measure as well. Yeah, that is pretty much the only possible thing that he can do. He's got to get this dodge, get in there. Yeah, there is a blitz with the Crocs. I don't think you want to be blitzing with the Crocs though in case it goes wrong. So yeah, there we go. That is the possible interception threat removed. So he's done pretty much everything he can do. You can hit this guy as well, just for good measure if you want to. So Cause Banquet can get hit down. Yeah, there we go. Takes the hit. Just a push. That was unfortunate. That still means there's a dodge off. You hate to see it. So he could actually have surfed that crop. That Saurus picks it up, so that's the first part of that done. Runs up. Do we see the GFIs to make it easier, or do we just see the pass? Depends how lucky he's feeling. It's going to be tight whatever happens. He's debating it. He is debating it. Fails the pass. This time the pass is good. And he catches it. That is the game for Viscardus on a re-rolled pass. That is really unfortunate for Rand. He did what he could do. just wasn't with him today. That was very last thing of the game, really. Well done, Viscardus. That was very close to being a draw. Extremely close to being a draw. So we're just going to see this run his players off now. Stand his players off. I feel bad for Rand too. He did really well to knock the ball down there. Just wasn't to be. Visk passing that 5+ pass and the catch was unlikely. I mean, that was a 5+ and then catch on a 4+. Yeah, so very unfortunate for Rand. He did really well to knock down that ball carrier at the end there. I think we'll see him vent some frustration here. Yeah, the catch was the 3+, so not as difficult. The 5+ was the more difficult thing with the pass. But you know, 5+, 3+ to score. Most people would they would take the risk, but they wouldn't say that they were likely to succeed that. I mean, obviously 5+ with a reroll isn't so bad. Rand was a little unlucky there. Just a brilliant coaching. Very shallow kick. Not that it's going to matter. Star player goes down. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I agree, Murty. You know, it would have been better for him, but what he did was still pretty good. There we go. That's an injury on Dragonite though, just right at the end here. Just a badly hurt though. So Visk will take that. That's some stuff on Natty Bow. Some SPP on Natty Bow. Calls him up to 21. And we've just got the hits on for Alligator to go. The cursed for Alligator, who has been hit many a time and has died, I think, twice. Troll moves in for the assist. Perhaps with Keithstone, or perhaps with Budweiser, trying to get that last couple of bits of SPP. And there's a vanity pass in the offing here as well. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be Budweiser. There's a lot of Orc bodies around that player. Or perhaps Bud Light, who can in fact level from it, so it's probably worth trying at the Bud Light. Nope, goes with Keystone. That's unfortunate. Yeah, might as well burn the reroll. No banana though. Do we see the pickup in the vanity pass attempt? Just for that one little extra floaty bit of SPP. Or is he going to go with a foul? He is. Turn 16 foul, succeeds, and it's just a KO. Now, all he's got to do is pass that ball, and that is the end of the game. And fails the catch. It was a really good game. Both coaches played really well. There weren't any obvious mistakes in there. Perhaps Rand leaving his thrower exposed at the back in the first half was a mistake. Yeah, both did really well there. Very, yeah, no worries, Cube, my pleasure. Very unfortunate for Rand there that at the end he didn't get the he didn't get the draw that he'd worked very hard for, but he does level Landshark. Landshark gets the MVP and now joins the ranks of the level 4 killer pieces. Dragonite, who was the Saurus who got injured, takes the MVP on Viscardus' side. He won't be too sad about that. That was just a badly hurt. So as you can see, neither team had all that much possession, although Visc had a bit more. 56 to 59 blocks, 3 KOs, 2 injuries, 2 KOs, 1 injury. So a little bit unfortunate on Rand's side, given that he had a bit more in the way of Mighty Blow and stuff going in, but just couldn't really make it work for him. Quite a bit of SPP for the Pocket Monsters, less for the Chuggers. It was a good game. I will see if either of them wants to join us. We'll see if they want to. But we will see that maybe they have other things to do, given it is Saturday afternoon for them. I will be popping off after this to go and do some stuff, like boring housework and stuff like that. I am in Matchroom 4 if anyone wants to jump on and have a chat. Visc/Rand. Appreciate you letting me cast this as well. It's been interesting doing it on my own. I'm probably not the best at just doing solo analysis, and I don't do it very often, but it certainly has been a good experience. What that does for the table is pretty straightforward. It means that Viscardus remains at the top, and yeah, by all means. I don't know if Rand can see that actually, so yeah, jump on. Yeah, so it looks like Rand's going to pop on for a sec. Visc may do. He has been known to in the past. And it was a fun game to watch. Very strategically done. There wasn't. Hello, Rand. How you doing?
Can't complain too much.
Yeah, I think you need to turn your volume up a little bit, mate.
Oh, do I?
Yeah, you're quite quiet.
Is this better?
Much better, yeah.
Okay, I was on the wrong mic.
That's alright. How was it? How was that for you? How did it feel? I did give you a little.
I probably shouldn't have had, but yeah, no, it was a good game. You guys played well.
Yeah, it was a very sort of cagey game from both of you. I mean, neither of you got much further than the centre spot really for most of that game. There were a couple of little plays that I very much enjoyed. I did give you a little clap when your Agi up thrower ran in and surfed his ball carrier. I think you were a bit unlucky with that punt not quite going far enough to sort of seal the deal.
I was between doing a short pass and a long pass.
Yeah.
It was a 3+ to 4+, and I was like, how much do I want to risk it? 4+ passes usually don't work unless you're Viscardus. You roll a 5-5-2-6 or something like that in a series. I was like, jeez.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it was a little unfortunate that you didn't quite get the draw that you'd worked for. So yeah, I mean, when I was looking at it, I was like, yeah, you could do the skink pass thing. It's going to be really difficult. That's a 5+ throw. Of course, he passes it with the reroll though. And yeah, your armor did break quite a bit. I did notice that there were a couple of turns where your AV9 was just doing nothing. In terms of removals, though, it was a pretty low removal game. Looking at the stats, though, he got more KOs and 1 more injury than you for less blocks taken with Mighty Blow, so I think you can probably feel slightly aggrieved there, but it was pretty even, all things told. It was 56 to 59 blocks. Didn't feel like either of you was going to be a runaway winner at any point, and yeah, in a way, Visc got very lucky with his rolls right at the end there, but that's what champions are made of, I suppose. You know, undefeated guys need a bit of luck along with all the skill.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, I don't think you can, be kicking yourself about that one. You did really rather well.
Oh, no, I'm not worried at all. Don't worry.
Thoroughly enjoyed casting it anyway. Who you got next?
I think RSM. Yeah, RSM, a bye, B. Hagen, and a bye.
Oh, okay. So fairly light schedule for the rest of the season. Although RSM has got to be looking quite scary at the moment. I mean, he's making a late surge, is that boy?
I haven't looked at it too much. I know he's got some mummy levels, but those are ones he was building back up, if I remember correctly.
He got block on the other mummy. So he now has 2 mummies with block. So, yeah, that's a little scary. Rootin' Tootin' 2 is now a block mummy, and I think he has a blodge mummy as well.
He does, yeah.
Ridiculous. Like, how does a mummy dodge? They're far too slow for that.
Well, it's more, at this point, just keeping him up on the line.
Mm-hmm.
God, I would have taken even something like Jump Up for him, to be honest with you.
Yeah, Jump Up would have been super useful for a mummy. I can understand the appeal of a blodge mummy, though. But yeah, that Jump Up could have been a real game winner in places, whereas, no, I don't know, dodge is not a bad choice, is it?
I just think there's going to be a lot of tackle spam in the next couple of weeks or
I would
so.
agree.
Coaches are really starting to look at getting a big boom in tackle because there's been so much blodge that's been hitting the league recently.
Yeah, and I think there's a whole bunch of teams out there who are right on the cusp of really exploding in terms of level ups as well. So, I mean, personally, I think I've got like 5 or 6 players who are within a few SPP of leveling up. I've seen another couple of teams who are like within a couple of SPP on like 3 or 4 or 5 players who are all going to start spamming out those levels. But yeah, it's been an interesting week. There's been some interesting results. Audrey getting completely clobbered by that was I watched that one live. That was kind of painful. Like, it was like I'm hoping for a really competitive game here, and it was just, that's quite unfortunate. Oh, Viscardus has joined us. Hello, Visc.
Hello.
How you doing, mate?
How are you guys doing? Yeah, good game, man. That ending was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
The last few turns.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed watching it, and by all means, when you watch it back, I'm sure you'll pick up on things that you did, but I didn't really have much critique of what you were doing. You both basically played about as well as you possibly could, and then at the end it was just...
I'm curious, actually, Rand, if I had... Because I was kicking myself when I realized, like, oh, I should have put the other skink one space back to, cage up better. But of course, it wouldn't have mattered because you rolled a 6. But I was curious. Do you think you would have still gone for it if?
Yeah, absolutely, without a doubt.
Okay, so then I don't have to feel too bad about that mistake.
My 2 options were I could be a passenger and just watch you do something, or I could try to affect it. I'm going to try to affect it even if I need a 6+. It's like if I was like, hey, at the end there when you passed and you needed 5 pluses, would you have tried it if it was a 6+? Of course you would have, right?
Oh yeah, no. Well, I think that's a little different because that was literally like my only option. Whereas in theory, you could have. I don't think it was wrong for you to make that play. I think that probably was correct. But I could see someone saying, well, okay, I'm not going to go for like the 6+ dodge. I'd rather just, or no, I guess it wouldn't have been 5+ because he's 5+, yes, plus energy. I'm just going to blitz, the skink next to him and try to block him off a bit and hope that my opponent rolls double skulls or something. I mean, considering I had a reroll, that probably plays into it as well. So I think it was the right play. I was just curious because I was mad at myself when I realized, oh well, yeah, should have put it one back. I definitely had some positioning mistakes there, but
man, you rolled 1 double skull. Holy snap!
Yeah, I rolled. Look how many pushes I rolled. I rolled an absolutely wild number of pushes.
Yeah, you had a bunch of double pushes like
there
that.
There was also
a
streak in there.
It was the series on the kickoff where you rolled push skull, push skull, push skull.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was. I was like, wow, that lineman just does not want to go down. I mean, you think you went 5 blocks just to push him back a square in the end, which was like, that's got to sting.
And then the next time I blocked him too, I also pushed him back.
Yeah.
Although I did finally get him out.
Yeah, it was a strange game in some respects. I mean, the troll kind of failed a few really unpleasant, really stupids for you, but the troll and the Croxy that were just sitting on that left-hand side, looking in the direction of play, so would have been your right, Visk, during that first half, just kind of bouncing off of each other.
I was very happy with the work my Crocs put in the first half.
Yeah.
The second half, less useful, but I mean, he pinned down the troll, which I guess is something.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely could have done that a little better. It was a mistake on my part that I ended up with both the Crocs and the one non-block Saurus.
Yeah.
Troll. That was an error on my part.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at that and thinking you're either going to have to take that and try and knock down that troll in order to free up the Saurus to try and get in on the thrower, or which was risky as hell, or you had to do that sort of sequence of moves that you did to free up a couple of players who could then get in there. Yeah, it was ballsy at the end there, it must be said. I did think it was heading for a draw.
You knocked out Slively in the first half.
Mm.
That was when you showed that, I was like, okay, cool, we're gonna hit that real quick.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Might have been a mistake to put him on the line. I was doing that more from the perspective of, conserving my pieces, because I know you have a dirty player. You've got guys with Mighty Blow. If you're going to injure someone, I'd rather it be Slively. But at the same time, if you're going to KO someone, I'd rather not be Slively, because he's a lot more useful than most of my Sauruses.
There's a lot of gold to drop for that. I was surprised when you put him on the line. It's like for 250k. That's like.
Well, it's so the thing is, it's not really a lot of gold, because I have 2 buys in my next 2 weeks, so I'm gonna be flooded with gold.
Makes sense.
There was no reason not to spend it. The only reason not to spend it was because if I'm gonna be firing 3 of my skinks, I might not be able to buy them all back if I get bad winnings rolls. But I don't even care that much about that, because I playing with 1 or even 2 loner skinks is really not a big deal.
Yeah, it makes sense logically. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like I said, there wasn't really... The only thing that I could really fault, off the top of my head, was Rand kind of leaving his thrower exposed in the first half.
Oh, you mean when he came behind and hit me? That was
yeah.
So Viscardus does... So when I was playing Viscardus and like doing prep for it, Vis doesn't show his skinks ever unless he gets a shot at the ball.
Yeah.
It's like a really consistent pattern of behavior from him. So I knew if I could hopefully get him to come in, and I was hoping for good dice and didn't.
Yeah.
But he got the 2 die, and I was like, cool, be able to hit that one, knock it out, grab the ball back, barring some kind of KO or stun.
Yeah.
And I had also pushed up 2 pieces to threaten his other skinks, so he couldn't protect both at the same time. And I knew I was going to draw the blitz to the back end.
Yeah, and you got a little unfortunate there in that I think it was Guinness who you sort of sent forward with tackle to get on that skink, and he got, I think, knocked out like immediately afterwards on a blitz. So that was a little unfortunate. I could see what your strategy there was.
That is an interesting strategy. I mean, you're right that I'm very reticent to expose my skinks unless I'm getting a good block, especially like a hit on the ball off of it. I mean, I don't know if I would intentionally leave a player open, but that's just me. I mean, that's just how I play. It is an interesting strategy, and yeah, that's pretty fair.
Yeah, but no, that
I didn't think of that. I assumed you just made a mistake, and I was like, wow, I can't believe Rand would leave that open like that. That seems very fair.
So it's worst case scenario. What happens if you hit me, right? Mm-hmm. Ball comes out. There was a mark already on your skink. Your skink had to mark me to prevent the advantage.
Yeah, well, but not if I knock you down.
True, But then it's like the ball has a 1 in 9 scatter or 1 in 8 scatter to go to it. If he catches it, then it's like, oh man, I'm in real big trouble. Otherwise, just get up and get the ball.
I mean, yeah, well, but there are, I mean, 2 other scatters there that put the ball on the skink, and then there are other scatters. Like, I don't. For me, the issue is there are too many scatters there that are bad for me to like want to let someone get a hit on the ball. Now, I mean, that's ironic because I let you get a hit on the ball when I had it, and that was I don't remember my logic there, but I mean, it wasn't intentional. I guess I thought it was going to be harder for you than it was to get the knockdown, the 1 die knockdown on the Saurus. I feel like sometimes I fall into the trap of assuming other people will play like I will. Because like I would be kind of reluctant to just take a 1 die that lets me. I mean, I wouldn't be reluctant to do it, but in that particular situation, I probably wouldn't have done what you did. But it's very possible, and in fact, I think considering it worked, there's certainly a good argument from that perspective that was the correct thing to do, and that I was underestimating the chance that I was giving you there. So, I don't know, something for me to think about.
Yeah, I mean, I think there was elements of very good play from both sides on that game, and watching it back, it's going to be a fun experience for both of you in that respect, because you will be able to pick out the things that kind of worked and maybe the things that didn't work quite so well. I don't think it's one of those ones where anyone made like a big key mistake that was like, well, that defined the entire game. So it was a very sort of precise game in a lot of respects. I thoroughly enjoyed watching it. It was quite nice to cast a game on my own for once as well. It was interesting. So you'll just hear me babble a lot, I think. Does anyone have anything final they would like to add before I call the stream there?
Had a good time.
Yeah, good game. Who are you playing next week?
RSM.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Who have you got last game of the season, Visc?
Lots of punching. Maybe even more than this game.
I played it in college. It was my division.
I assume you won that?
I think I took out both his whites in like the first 3 turns and 1-2-0 or something.
Well, watch out for those mummies.
Mummies are easy to deal with for me, actually. I have a secret that you don't have.
You just put a lineman.
I can mark with an AV9 piece I don't care about.
So one of those mummies is getting trolled.
I mean, I feel like one of the difficult things about undead is using the mummies effectively, like, and playing around the fact that they have such terrible movement. Because I've definitely seen people who allow their mummies to become completely irrelevant, and it's like, okay, well, your team is just bad now. Like, an undead team without mummies is kind of garbage. But I've also seen people who seem to always keep the mummies free and keep them in positions where they can affect the play, and they're pretty dangerous, especially when one of them has blodge and the other one has block or whatever RSM has. So
What do you think about the blodge pivot, by the way?
On the mummy,
Yeah.
I think that's fantastic.
I was saying I would have gone with jump up.
Yeah, and I'm kind of inclined to agree.
That's interesting. I don't know. I mean, yeah, jump up would be nice on a mummy, sure. But I mean, dodge. I don't know. Dodge means once he gets like stand firm, that's a piece that's just impossible to move.
We were talking about the fact that tackle seems to be coming out a hell of a lot now, though, so that kind of negates dodge.
I mean, any killing piece doesn't seem to have an issue getting attacked.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're using tackle, I mean, because undead, you're gonna have dodge on all your ghouls. So I mean, if they're using their tackle pieces to attack your mummies, I feel like you're in decent shape. I don't know. I don't play undead. I don't really like undead. They're too slow for me. So I might be wrong there. I like the dodge pickup a lot, but it might be that jump up would be better. I'm really not sure.
Possibly just 6 of one and half a dozen of another, really. I think there's arguments in favour of both. Rand, quickly, sneaky peek. Have you rolled your level up for Land Shark yet?
Oh yeah, took tackle.
You took tackle. So it's just a
I don't
standard
get
one.
doubles or stats. That's not something I do.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't
The
either.
one agi up there because that's almost that bit.
So yeah, I guess you're just hoping for that double so you can get to jump up on the next one then.
I would have liked the jump up there if I could have got it. I would have loved a move up or a strength. I would have taken an agi up too, probably.
Yeah.
Could get it.
But hey,
Hopefully
tackle's
I'll
not bad,
be
Nikita.
rolling some levels soon with my bye weeks, but because I've got a lot of guys that are close.
Yo, who won?
This one won.
I haven't seen the.
Oh,
Congratulations, bitch. You did?
Oh, thank you.
Congrats.
It was an interesting game for sure.
Hey,
I'm
Flipped,
gonna-
how you doing,
I'm gonna
mate?
go. Great talking to you guys, and good game once again, man.
yeah, thanks for dropping in by, Visc, and thanks for letting me cast that. Cheers, I'll catch you
See
later.
you later.
Yeah, so nice of you to just still make a cameo appearance at the end there, Flipped. Welcome. I think I'm going to call it there. So thank you very much for letting me cast your game, Rand. I will catch you a bit further along the road. Same to you, Flipped.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm playing against. I'm playing a game like today. If you want to cast it,
What time?
if you can. That's the thing, though. I don't even know yet.
Playing a game sometime. If I'm available, I will certainly cast it, Flipped, for sure. I do have an early start tomorrow, though, so it may well be that I won't be able to cast it if it's late tonight.
Yeah, don't worry. Don't worry. I was just popping up to ask.
All right, mate. It never hurts to ask. Just ping me. If I don't answer, I'm probably asleep. So
Yeah, no problem, dude.
all right, guys. I will call it there. Thank you very much for popping in, all of you. Thank you to anyone out there who watched, and anyone who watches this on the replay. If you haven't followed me on Twitch yet, please do, because I'm a couple of follows away from that affiliate cash money. Got to get that cash money flowing. All of those like 1p's or whatever, it'll all add up. I will be casting again soon because I do have a couple of games coming up, although they haven't quite been arranged yet. This might actually be a fairly quiet week for me in that regard. That being said, I am working night shifts for 2 nights this week, and then I am essentially free for the rest of the week until the weekend. So I won't be available Monday and Tuesday nights, but tomorrow night and Wednesday, Thursday nights I am definitely about. So if you want me to cast your game, even if it starts at 3 o'clock in the morning, drop me a message and I'll be happy to do so. Okay, so
Will do.
that's it. We will see you all further down the Blood Bowl road. Cheers for dropping by. Good night.